again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video number 48. On our last example video, we talked about the contact form and how I am using the Bootstrap and JavaScript from a CDN and the BadWords function that I created that only worked with the text box only. Well, I added that algorithm to the rest of the input boxes. Plus, I added a full-blown contact form too. I also added a validation process. The reason I did this is because I wanted JavaScript to validate the forms before it is submitted, even though when you hit the submit button, it doesn't work. This is the actual form. You're right, doesn't work, right? But we wanted to. What I wanted to do was to stop pornographic words coming into the server-side process, and that is if the submit button was working and was going to a PHP file. I have shown you all about the PHP sanitizing and validating in another video. I wanted to add, which I did, I added the Bootstrap so that the menu looks professional, kind of looks, I mean, the CSS, I can get rid of this, which is not, it's a problem. We could do it right now just to show you. Where is it? It's supposed to be right here. See? How about if we just kind of go like this, just to show you. I left it, green just to see. I mean, the red part of this thing is okay. I mean, I could get rid of that too, right? I mean, I could just say, let's just get rid of it. Matter of fact, let's add a 0 to this, right? Matter of fact, you know something? I just still want to keep it because I'm going to use it for myself, basically, but they want to see the border, so I'm going to put 0 on them. This is the CSS. Remember we talked about the style sheet stuff? There you go. See, so when you come down like this, the reason why I put that in there is because I wanted to at least have some lines, and we could do that in another part of a CSS course when we use this thing called media, but that's okay. For now, we're going to do this, right? We're going to keep it like that for now on. Now, what I wanted to do was I just wanted to explain that that I'm getting this Bootstrap from the CDNs, right? And that's the content delivery network or content distribution networks. So some places it says that, some places others says the other thing. I'm going to use both, same thing. Again, then I said that the Bootstrap is what gives me the CSS. This is CSS right here. This is what changes things. See, the stuff that I'm doing here is basically what I'm doing here as a style. So instead of having this whole thing in here, you can set that up on your, this is the one that I created, but Bootstrap gives you other things too, like for menus, for the buttons, those kind of things. They do a lot for you. It's really good. So it's powerful, it's extensible, and it really has feature-packed front-end toolkits for building like fast, responsive sites. I mean, I will probably do another course on that, right? It'll take some time, but I'm going to try to do as fast as I can because I don't charge to show you this. People say, "Oh, put this in that, tutorial places where they pay you money." I'm going to show you guys how to do this because I know I've been there. Even though I took training over the years, but I had to learn a lot of this stuff on my own too. Because when you go to companies, they do have their own universities. Like Morgan, like JP Morgan had it, Instant had it. They had their own thing where you have to learn their stuff. Kind of like the on the job type of thing. You do that too, of course, but they also gave you courses and you had to kind of pass the test. And the reason why they did that, so that way they can keep giving you the money and the raises. I knew, I knew that things were going to change when they decided to do that. But you know something? I have taken like over 40 courses with JP Morgan. I've taken 400 with, I guess, YouTube and Udemy. And because I like learning, I really do. I learn different things. It's not just computers that I learn. I learned engineering. I do also sophisticated math, physics. I mean, I like all that stuff. So I'm constantly learning. And I got tons of books. Oh my God. I must have like maybe 300 books that I've gotten into, which I gotta get rid of. A lot of them already, because a lot of the old, earlier ones are kind of obsolete. So you have to kind of keep moving and keep learning. So yeah, it's good stuff. So I wanted to show you this stuff because that's one of the things that I also showed you the jQuery, which is built on JavaScript, right? So that jQuery is like a JavaScript library, designed to simplify, like Mama told you, HTML DOM tree, traversal and manipulation of your data. It has event handling. When you click on, like for instance here, you click on this. Remember the other one, the smooth one that we'd had, that kind of goes, you click on this and it smooths it over here. This can't do much because just that's it. But if you can smooth out, well, that's what it is. It uses, you could use on-click type thing. I wonder if I have one here. Let me see. Because I did add some stuff. Ooh, no, I guess not. Not here. Towards the bottom. But I'll show you that in a minute. So what happens is it uses the DOM, like the HTML. Remember I told you it has compiler, it has interpreter. It's the same thing. So the DOM has its own thing, and they can use JavaScript so you can manipulate all these things. So I hate this. I like it like that. See, when you spread it out, it kind of looks like this for full, which is Bootstrap. It does that for you. It gives you the full-blown thing. And it can also, of course, give you the responsive websites, which is what this is. See? Okay, so the DOM, what it does is that it helps you move around inside. So the DOM kind of looks like there's the DOM tree, right? And this is, you don't see this. This is something within. So if I go, let me click. There it goes. See, the actual document that you see on the screen is this. That's the doc. Then you have your root elements, right, which is the doc and the HTML. See, this HTML is the root. Then you have elements, right? You've seen the head, you've seen the body, you've seen the title and the href, right? That's for the A. That goes together with this. You've seen element H1, my header, my links. There's a lot more than this. It's just what it does is it helps you move around. So there's ways of doing it, right? So the DOM, which is called, let's see, DOM, like this. That's the document object model. So the HTML object document model in JavaScript can access and change all your elements of your HTML file on the moment you hit a button or a link. Even if you hit this, like this outside of the form, you could do a lot of things, but it has to read. So if you have like a lot of unordered lists and a lot of LIs, and within that you got this is a way of moving around. It's a special lingo, but it's in there. It's all built in there, and you'll be able to manipulate that whole thing, right? So with the DOM in JavaScript can create dynamic HTML. JavaScript can change, you've seen a little bit of it when remember we did Apple. Apple's a bad word, let's say. It went away. But I also did it for here too. Remember I was talking about it? Oh look, check this out. I'm going to show you that in a second. if I went here and I said Apple, that's it. So if I say, if I needed to, let's say I'm going to go to the next one. I'll work on that first. Boom. You're going to get this. Please enter a proper name. So you go back, right? What's there? So you go back there and then you add your, I don't know, let's say Andy. Right? And then you can move on and that's it. I'm going to hook it up too so when you move on, it takes it out. Or if you move from here to here, they'll see the email address. If you're here and you move on, it'll give it to you right here. Please enter a message. See, these are validation stuff, a little simple thing that tells you, please finish up. Not only that, Mama told you that it doesn't like Apple. Oops. Doesn't like Apple because it's a bad word. Let's move it over here. We already seen this. We'll be able to, when I put it in and I go here, we'll be able to take that out. Then I go Apple, right? Ooh, it missed out, but if I went here, tells you what email you're missing it. Please put that info. This is just a way of you going, ooh, let me get back there and put that stuff on. Plus it won't let you go because if you hit the submit button, right, you're gonna, let's say if you submit this button right here, it's gonna give you another thing. It's gonna go, please fill out your field. See, I added these little features because I wanted you to know that JavaScript will help you do this. You want JavaScript to do validation before you start going into the server-side stuff. Like in other words, if you put this name, and this, and you information like the right way, and you hit this, it's going to go straight out to PHP. And then PHP, remember one mentioned that when we were doing the PDOs and MySQL remember when we were validating to make sure there's not empty, that we don't have SQL injection, or we don't have any HTML stuff. And remember we saw that it was like a real lengthy path. Well, you can use that process in here. So if all you have to do is go to the menu part, where is it? If I can find it. That's the second one, which I'm about to tell you. Okay, see this? So this and this is this. These things right here. This stuff here, which we saw earlier, this is the dynamic stuff that kind of creates this for you. Plus, this is the stuff that we get from Font Awesome. But you can actually put one in here, you can put one right there, or you can even put one inside. Make it into a placeholder. And of course you can put one in here, you can put, I'm going to show you that in a second. So if you go to your form, and it has the method of post, like right here, and see, it has a name. Usually this would be the action right here, would be like the name of, I don't know, let's just say file name.php, like that. And the moment you hit this guy, it'll take this information. Of course, you're going to have all that, remember, PHP validation that we've shown you before in the other videos. And this will do all this stuff for you. And if for some reason, remember, we also mentioned we use header. Remember the header command that will redirect you from giving you an error, or something's wrong here. It'll take you right back over here, and then do the process all over again. It'll be like a fresh, site. So page. So then you just have to make sure you put that information in, and you go back. It goes through the process, and then once you have done, checked for this, check for that, check for. Then the bad words, check for all that. Now the bad word stuff, I wanted to do it here. You can also set it up on the other side too, which I will have a way, because you have to convert this JavaScript bad word algorithm to PHP, and I'll do that too. I'll give you that too in another video. But for now, I just wanted to show you that I added to now just for one more thing, just to let you know. JavaScript can change all of your HTML elements on the page. What else? It can it can change the attributes. These are the attributes. These are things here. These things here. These are called attributes, right? So then it can change CSS, like to see this stuff right here. I can change this also in JavaScript. I can say, please do this and change, take this class, take this, and maybe even add a class. You could do that too with JavaScript. JavaScript can remove existing HTML elements, of course, the attributes. JavaScript can add new HTML elements. Like right here, you don't have one here, but I can have JavaScript to add me another box automatically for you. JavaScript is a full-blown programming language. Before it used to be just for buttons like what we just did, like this stuff here, but it really does a lot. It's a full-blown, I mean, I studied that stuff for, it was hard because it had trickiness. It had things that just didn't work right. And if you learn from the JavaScript the right way, that book, you learn a lot from that guy named Douglas Crawford. So it's really good. Anyway, JavaScript can add new elements, right? Can react to all the existing HTML events. So in each of these things, we could say on click, like on something like this. We could do something like this. And then you could say, oops, like on click, and you put a freaking thing there. You can put all that stuff inside within, you know, here. What else do we have? Like for instance, remember when you go down to, let's go back down to the BadWords section. Remember this part? Showed you that in the last video, but I wanted to add these. I wanted to add this technique to these guys too, and the other guys, which I'm going to show you in a second. So, and this is the one that does the checking, and if it sees there's something there, this is what gives you that blank, right? So then what happens is, this is the, see, look, 1, 2, and 3 is 1, 2, and 3. And this is why I added these guys to check for those bad words. Then I added these 4 other guys as well. Where is it? Where's these other 4 guys? Well, if I come down here, I added a contact form too. Listen, when you do a contact form, you're not going to have 2 of them. I'm just giving it to you so you can see one way. You see it this way, it's a simple way. But if you see it this way, it's also sophisticated because I broke these up into 2 columns. This one has the name, email address. You could put the date like this. Look, it's telling you what to do, and it's even telling you that in the placeholder how to do it. Right? Look, I even gave you one of those. I don't know you've seen this before. The reCAPTCHA. That's the one that if you got this set up on your website, that helps out with the security. And over here, it won't go nowhere unless you put in. What will be the thing here? It will be what? Well, this is a placeholder. It will be like what, 50? The moment you do that, so let's say you put this information in and then you hit the send button, it's going to read this too. JavaScript is going to read that. See, oh, is that the right way to do it? Yes, this and that, and then it'll go back out there. Or you could just go send this and then it'll go back out there to the PHP. Let it do its validation, and if there's something's wrong, we'll come right back to this form. Just wanted to give it to you anyway. Now this is just a form. You see how, now if I go like this, like from this dark gray to this light gray, see how it doesn't change, but it does it in the buttons. See how the button color changed? That's because I put that CSS, and this thing with the double stuff like that and making my buttons look even better. That would be the Bootstrap. Now I did a little thing here. The reason why I did this is because you want to provide other ways too, right? First of all, in the form, remember we talked about on this form here. Do we have it? Was it here or was it the other one? Okay, right here. Okay, like for instance, this one right here with the form, with this mailbox. See how I change it? I go like this. Well, guess what? It's a button. It's a button that looks like a picture. And what I want to do is I want to say, look, check it out. I want you to take a look over here in this little section right over here. Once I put this in there, you see it? That will be a real phone number. And this is what it looks like here. Right here, this is what it looks like. It's an href, right, with an image. But it has, remember we saw this before, kind of like, I'm going to put this over here real quick. I just want to show you. Remember this one? For your mail, that it can send mail. Remember you had the whole thing set up that it could send mail. I'll show you that in the other video that because I updated the crew. I updated the crew project. That one. Listen, even though I mentioned I was going to show you 2 JavaScript project and 1 PHP, I've kind of shown you a lot of different things that you can actually use as a separate project. Okay, but they're trying to make these like more full. Now, if you put your phone number here and somebody hits this here, over here it'll give you something like you know, that application that opens up so you can dial somebody's number. I'm not going to do that because it takes from this computer, like I told you, it's kind of slow, so I don't want to go through. But if you make it into, if you do this on your phone itself, it will set it up for you. The moment you go like this, it will set up the phone number. It'll give you the number, and all you have to do is say send. And that way you can call somebody. Okay? That's why I did that there. Plus, I'm giving it to you because, hey, listen, people pay a lot of money to learn how to do these things. Now, remember I told you that I don't want to, Apple is a bad word, so we'll say work. Word, let's say word, that's a good one. So, I don't want to do that. So what happens is, I did it over here too. I said Apple. See, this is why, look, I say Apple. Over here it's not giving you, see how I moved? I don't got nothing, but I moved up because I didn't add that. But if you hit this and you already got this set up, kind of puts it in there for you. So if I was to say Apple, you could do, see how it takes it out? If you say, what is the other one? Orange, it's a bad word, goes away. If I say Dick Clock, remember, because I can't say bad words, boom, goes away. So this is why I added these guys. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the names for your audio IDs, also for your form. So what I did was, when I did over here, this is the first form, right? That gives you those 2 little button things. And this is your text boxes, right? This is your, of course, your submit button. This is your form number 2, which is here. So whenever you want to use this as a template or put it in there, like I told you, I'm going to put it in the link below and you'll be able to get it. And all you have to do is cut and paste, put it in the resource folder, and keep everything in there. So whenever somebody says, oh, I want my form to look like that, and not only that, you can even take this form and even change it differently. So it's up to you. Because right now it's going, this is Bootstrap. Bootstrap is telling me I want this to be 12, 12, 12, 12. I want this to, that's my form control, right? That's HTML5. But by doing this 12, 12, then you're breaking it down. Those little things here. I got, you know, you could give it the IDs, right? Like right here, ID, and then you got your name. Look, this is the place. So see this little thing that says required? That's what this is. So in other words, if I kind of, let's get this out the way, and then I hit submit, it kind of gives you that. That's what gives you this. So now that you, over here right now, I don't have like what I got over here, when I can, you know, move around and get the message. You could do that too. You could actually set it for here too. Just put the message right here, or you can even put the message right below the name thing. You can even put the message below if you want to, especially if you put it above, because people, you know, they're right here and they're seeing and they're doing it, boom, it pops up. But they don't want anybody to go down there to look, right? So, I mean, it's up to you. It's your program. But I'm giving you this because you can use this. And I know this is not a HTML course and not a CSS or JavaScript, but I wanted to give you this because I know they ask for these kind of things. I know for a fact. Same thing with this. You know, you show them that you could do this dynamically, right? They love it. Now remember the smooth one, where if you would have had this page would have been like huge, and you would hit portfolio, how it smooths down. They ask for these kind of things, man. I'm telling you. It just makes it easy. Yeah, you could jump down there, but it makes it so much pretty when you slide. It's like, wow. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do, to explain these technologies, okay? And we'll just stick with the HTML now. And the JavaScript I'll teach you when the time comes, more and more. But as you can see, I showed you the. Now let's get to the bottom part of it. Remember I told you this is a closure, closes over these functions, right? Then I put, these are the BadWords. Remember, if whenever you want to add BadWord, just go like this, and go, hey, la, 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 la. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say anything. I don't want YouTube, because they look at all these videos, and if they see that, oh, look, I'm showing you BadWords, they're gonna warn me. So I don't want that. Anyway, this does this stuff. Remember I told you it reads the. This is just a declaration, doesn't do anything, right? And then you, of course, created a variable of an array for these things. So that, remember I told you that I just wanted to have that one of them, and then maybe create another way that I just, all this goes into the same one, that this would change to 1, 0. Yeah, I'm gonna do that when the time comes. Going to use the for loop, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the for loop that's going to read this as a count. Then it's going to do this for me. It's going to do this for me. Then I'm going to do that, and I'll show you that maybe in another video, or I just add it in below in the description. It'll probably be part of it. Or maybe I'll have it already. I'll have something over here, right down here, letting you know that you could do this. Or if you wanted to keep it like this, it's fine with me, as long as it's not a lot, because what would happen is if it's like tons of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but basically it's just only this. I mean, there are forms that are a lot, and you can make this a little smaller. But for now, this is great. Remember I told you the key up, one key up, you could do this. You got the on click, you got the on focus, you got the on move out, move in. I mean, there's a lot of things, but right now we're using the key up. That's why when you type in Apple, it does it right away. It's doing it. It's doing the loop. Then you do this. Oh, it's doing the loop. It's doing the loop, but doesn't see anything. That's why it stays there. It's doing the loop. It doesn't see any bad words with that. It's doing the loop. Then it says continue. Boom. And on the last one, of course, puts you right here. It says, yes, there is something there. And that will be your last loop. And takes it out. Same thing with all the other ones. And of course, as you can see from here, and then this one. That's how that works, right? So then what happened, jQuery does, this means that I want the IDs of these guys, because this is the name that you gave it, right? Look. Let's go to one of the, where is it? This one right here, input, right? This is, oh no, this is the other one. This is the stuff with the little thing here, which, you know, maybe we could put a thing there too, so in case somebody tries to put like the word add and put, you know what I'm saying, that we could check for that. But for now, we're not doing that. Here's your ID. See, you got your ID date picker. I also called it the name of this element, date picker. So when you get down here, it looks at date picker, and that's what it checks. It's checking. Now the reason why I got 0, 1, and 2, because this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which gives me the 6. This bottom part here is the actual blur. This is the stuff that when you go like this, and you get out and you get this message. Let's go. Sorry. You go here and you get this message. This is what does it. See, on blur. Mouse out could have done it too. And then what it does is, remember I told you that why I use the word var, like right here, var, because that's the way var, it still uses, that's the older version of JavaScript. But now that with the new version, you can use stuff like let, and it's even better, to tell you the truth. You can say let this equal to this, remember document. Look, I even gave the form itself an ID, and from that ID, remember I told you that every form once you submits that stuff, it goes into an array. It knows that it's an array. Well, this is another way of doing it. This form, that particular form, that first one is called contact form. And of course, this is the first one, which is this one. You've seen that over here, right? Right here, see? So what happens is you go like this and you say, hey, I want the value of it. That's the stuff that's in here. Then I want to say, hey, is that value, is there anything in there? It's like saying, is it in PHP, is it empty? So you go like this, so no, there's nothing there. Okay, please enter proper name value, see? And it puts that div right above the form. So it will be right here. And it puts it right in here, right inside here. It puts it right in here. This is what this is when you say inner HTML. Put that right there. That's the inner HTML stuff. Put that information right there. I did the same thing for the email address right here. Look, email, and then I think I also did something like please enter a message, because you know if you're gonna do this and that, I mean I can send you an email back and say okay, what is it that you want? You just wasted kind of time, right? But if you put name and address and something there, then I'm going to get it. I'll get it in, and you can hook it up that it goes into an email. Plus, you can hook it up that it goes to the server, and if everything works out fine, that everything was sanitized and validated, then it goes into the database, and you can even have a database mail thing that you can check later on. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things you could do. But I'm giving you this stuff so that way you don't have to wait forever to get this stuff, because you can just take this and use it for your PHP stuff, HTML stuff, okay? I mean your HTML stuff that will read JavaScript. And this way I'm giving you to this right now so that when we do the HTML, I mean the JavaScript stuff, it's going to have a lot of this stuff and even more fancy stuff. Well, my friend, you know, we reached the end, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this, you know, answers great. This is great, right? You like it, it's great. You're going to use it for your future projects. If you learned something, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, because that really helps me out. Well, until next time, a good night.